Peace and greetings, everyone. This is Jahi Farr, and I'm creating this particular video for the total family in general, but for the woman in specific. Okay, she's the giver of life, or the vessel of life, the bearer of all culture, and the greatest motivator of all men. Okay, very important. And I want to state in the onset of this video, for sisters, please don't look at my gender and discard the information that I'm providing. I want to note that all of the information that I'm providing has been based in research that was done for thousands of years in cultures where women were thriving, rejuvenated, and did not have the degenerative diseases that plague sisters in all walks of life on all continents in today's day. Okay, I want to also state to some of the brothers out there that we have to get more involved in the health of our family. Men are the protectors of the family, and to be the protector, the total protector, the holistic protector that we thrive to be and that we say that we are, we have to be able to protect our families, not only physically, so not only being able to protect them by fighting somebody off, that's one way, but also being able to be there and be a protector of their psychological mind frame, their internal well-being as well. Okay, very, very important. I'm going to say, and I have to say, when I was younger and having girlfriends, and one girlfriend in particular, being with a woman that you can't help in her time of need is probably, or at least in my case, probably the most belittling thing I've ever went through. I can remember going to the hospital with this one sister because she was crying so much because her body was in so much pain from a painful menstruation, because the blood was stagnated within her uterus and just wouldn't come out, and it caused her body to be in mind-numbing pain. And she's looking at me as her protector, and I was impotent. I couldn't do nothing. And in most cases, I contribute to the degeneration of this female uterus through the diet that I promoted, through the hair care products that I wanted to see her wear, through the smoking, drinking, through the sexual intercourse that was probably in most cases harming her or not satisfying all of the reflexology points in her body. So I have to point out that men, in order to be the holistic protector of the family and the community, we have to have intellectual information on how to heal the family as well. Wanted to state that in the onset of this video. Okay, so I will present 3 topics in this video that I'll discuss. The first topic being the overall diseases that women encounter today, the general and most common diseases. The second topic will be some causes of those diseases. And then the third and final topic will be, of course, some recommendations and some suggestions on how to heal the body in general, but the female reproductive system in particular. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Okay, the first topic being, again, the common diseases that are plaguing women across the world, which is, of course, cancer of the breast, the ovaries, the fallopian tubes, the uterus, the vagina, the cervix, just cancer. The second most common disease is pretty much endometriosis and endometriitis, okay, which causes a lot of those painful periods and the sloughing off of the lining of the uterus. Very important. Fibroids, tumors, cysts, another very common disease amongst women across the world, not just here, but across the world. Another major disease being the prolapse of the uterus or the depression of the uterus, which is simply just the uterus dropping, or the uterus is here and it drops down into the vagina. And that's pretty much caused by the ligaments and tendons and muscles in that area going through a stage of atrophy. Okay, they're not able to handle that weight of the uterus anymore, so the uterus drops down into the vagina. Okay, so they are some of the most common diseases. Of course, there are many more, but they're amongst some of the most common. Some of the most common that most women go to seek surgical care for, or synthetic drug care for. Okay, so let's jump into the second topic, which is some of the main causes for some of those diseases. Okay, first and foremost, I have to say is a modern living lifestyle, the modern lifestyle of today. Okay, and this again, it transcends geographical location, because the same women that are dealing with a lot of those illnesses and diseases that I just named are dealing with them here in the United States, South America, on the continent of Africa, on the continent of Asia, on the continent of Europe, or in the continent of Europe. So all across the world, women are going through these same issues, are battling these same diseases. So what is it? It's the lifestyle, the stressful lifestyle. Too much stress from work, having to work, play the man and the woman, or having to want to look a certain way. You know, the media promotes a certain kind of look, and if women don't feel as though they look that way, then of course that will add a lot of stress. And I must say that stress is very harmful because of the imbalance of the emotions, which women are very emotional beings, very internal beings. And to add to that, most of the diseases, not all, but most of the diseases that I named previously are the result of imbalanced emotions. Okay, of course, waste and everything else being in the system, but the emotions are imbalanced, and the emotions will in turn relate to the hormones that are being produced in the body. And the imbalance of those hormones, meaning those hormones may not be produced as much, so there's lack of hormones, or it may be an overproduction of hormones. So stress, go back to the stress. You have to be in a situation where as though you're not as stressful. Okay, so stress is definitely a cause of a lot of degenerative diseases with the female reproductive system. Okay, again, the lifestyle of dressing, wearing those 4 and 5 inch heels, that is killing your uterus, sisters. I have to state that. If anything, you shouldn't want to go larger than an inch, inch and a half, okay, because the heel still will try to balance itself out. But when you're walking like this all day long, that is totally impacting and making your uterus very acid. Okay, makeup, the makeup that you put on your face, if it's not organic, if it doesn't come from things like jojoba oil, olive oil, coconut oil, fruits, natural fruits, or vegetable cellulose, you don't want to put it on your face. If it's synthetic, keep it away from your face, because I have to state that women are storehouses for energy, and thus storehouses for waste. So anything you put on your body, on your face, deodorant, perms, it will store more in your body than it would in your male counterpart, because males are more external, so things are more excreted easier out of the male body, whereas though things are stored more in the woman's body very easy. So perms, it's wasteful, and the waste will be stored in your body. The makeup, the waste will be stored in your body. The deodorants, the waste will be stored in your body. Major cause of breast cancer. Okay, again, very acid, as I spoke about before. Cancer, so acid, the loss of moisture in a particular area causes that particular area to become acidic. And the way the body works, we're 50 plus trillion cells, and the goal of the cell is to survive by any means necessary. So whatever state that you put the body in, whether it be alkaline, meaning oxygenated, or acid, being deoxygenated, whatever environment you provide for it, the cells will try to proliferate and survive, okay? So for an example, again, you put in on deodorant, it's blocking up the glands here, the sweat glands. It will cause that area to be more acid, okay? And thus, the cells will begin to proliferate in a deoxygenated area and thus start living off of carbon dioxide. That's when your cells are cancerous, when they begin to live off of carbon dioxide. Very important that you note that. What else? Waste being in the body. Okay? So from your nutrients, if you're not eating correctly, if you're not eating alkaline foods, if you're not eating raw vegetables and fruit more, you will suffer from some of those degenerative diseases. Very, very important. Okay. So what are some of the other causes? I said stress. I said the things you put on your body. Exercise, the lack of exercise will relate or cause some of those degenerative diseases. Again, I spoke about the prolapse of the uterus, the muscles atrophying. And one of the reasons for atrophy is not being used. The muscles are not being used. And the way the body works, either you use it or you lose it. Okay, very important. I believe that's the, I believe that's the major causes of the diseases. Of course, there are many, but they're the most important ones. Also, not drinking enough water. Women, please drink more water. But that goes along to our third and final topic, which is the recommendations for healing ourselves from those, or healing the female reproductive system from those particular illnesses. And to start it off, again, the environment that a woman's in. You have to set up, sisters, hear me out. You have to set up an environment that is conducive for you to have an easy outlet of your emotions. Emotions are not a bad thing, but the way you find a way to outlet them may be detrimental. And then if you can't outlet them and you suppress those emotions, that is a cause of the body becoming acidic. And as I pointed out before, if your body's acidic, that's where cancer comes from. That's where waste builds up, and that's where fibroid tumors and things of that nature come from. So having an environment that is very conducive to the intelligent expression of your thoughts, your feelings is very, very important. Having a male partner that sits and talks with you about your emotions in your day is very, very important to the health of your total body. Very important. Please take that into consideration. Another thing for helping the body heal, nutrition. Women, you come on your menstrual cycle every month and you leave and you slough off a lining of nutrients. It's not waste, it's nutrients. The stuff that's being sloughed off, if you were pregnant, that nutrients will be redirected to your breast in order for you to feed the child. So if you were pregnant, you wouldn't come on your period. Okay, you wouldn't have menstruation. And if you were breastfeeding, you wouldn't come on your menstruation. Instead, that lining of the uterus and that ovum will be redirected back into the body for use by you. Okay, so if you are coming on your menstruation, and especially if you're bleeding more than 3 to 5 days, then you have to replenish those nutrients immediately. You have to use raw fruits, raw vegetables, nuts, seeds, things of that nature. You have to. And then in most cases where women are bleeding more, you have to begin consuming herbs. Herbs are nothing but plants on steroids, natural steroids, okay? Plants that have more than 500 different phytonutrients that knows best about the woman's body. And some of those herbs are chaste tree berries, dunquois, red raspberry leaf, and many others. They are some of the main ones. Maca, Very, very important to the female reproductive system in helping balance out the emotions, balance out the expressions of those emotions. Very important for you sisters to know that. Let me see. Cleansing, very important. I have to touch on that too. Um, Women, because you're storehouses of waste, you have to cleanse your body weekly. Very important. Douches, exfoliating the skin, getting all of the waste out of your skin. Enemas, to clean the waste out of your anus. You have to cleanse yourself weekly, or that waste will be stored in the body. Again, you are storehouses of energy, but also waste that comes in the body. So cleanse yourself. Make it a point to cleanse yourself. I also should have pointed this out earlier, but another cause of diseases in women is the pads you wear. Those pads have bleach in them, and bleach kicks off the natural acidic environment of the vagina. Then certain parts of the body are supposed to be alkaline, but some parts are supposed to be acidic, and the vagina is supposed to be naturally acidic, but when you wear these pads that have chlorine bleach in them, they negatively affect your female reproductive system, thus causing some of those diseases. And it starts young with little girls. I have 2 little daughters, and I don't allow them to wear drawers that are not cotton-based and Pampers that have chlorine in them, or those smelly good substances in them. I don't allow it. Instead, I buy Pampers for my daughter that is sensitive skin and non-chlorine bleach. Okay, they're pretty much like a brown tinge color. Okay, very important for you to note that. 2 more things for helping the female reproductive system, which is emotional training. Try to control your emotions. Talk more, okay? Recognize the way you're feeling, and then write it down in the journal if need be, okay? Always good to express. Never suppress. Always express your feelings. Last but not least, sex and sexual partners. Very important. Sisters, you have reflexology zones within your vagina that correspond to all of the major organs in the body. The bottom, or the entry of the vagina, is the kidneys. The second part is the liver. Third part is the spleen, pancreas. The fourth part is the lungs. The fifth part being the heart. You have to have a partner that's touching all of those particular reflexology points, and that will help to heal a lot of the major organs in the body. Again, as I pointed out earlier, most of the diseases that women suffer from are because their body is very acidic and they have more waste in their body. No disease, no degenerative disease can live in an alkaline body. I want to make that clear to you, sisters. And to you, brothers, again, our goal is to protect the family community, learning how to heal and keeping our women protected from a lot of this marketing out here. Is one of our goals, okay? Me personally, I have 2 daughters, and I plan to be married one day, so I created my own formula packed with a lot of those natural herbs that will help heal my wife and my daughters, okay? Again, I hope that this information has been helpful. All questions, comments, and concerns are welcome. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.